Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Siraj, and this is Red in the Head. Liverpool, I'm not gonna lie. We did a classic smash and grab last night, huh? A classic European smash and grab where you weren't necessarily playing the best football, but you hung in there and you nicked it. Liverpool nicked it at the end. I mean, look, I was okay. 20 minutes into this game, I was like, I'll take a draw. I will take a draw right now because, whoa, that PSG team is fire. My goodness me. Ousmane Dembele, Barcola, the Kvaratskhelia, I don't know how you say his name, but A-grade, quantifiable ballers in that PSG team. Completely different to the kind of Galacticos eras where they had Mbappe and Messi and the other fraud just waiting while the rest of the team ran. This team worked for themselves. This team, coming into this game, this PSG team was the form team in Europe. And look, this was always going to be a sticky patch for Liverpool because you don't expect PSG to end where they ended in the group stages, but be that as it may, PSG has been scoring. Now I know there's a lot of people out there, pundits and rivals, crying about how lucky Liverpool was with this results. And yeah, okay, you could say that, nicking a goal at the end, probably against the run of play, was lucky, but you make your goddamn own luck in this Champions. I didn't hear any of these fucking pundits say anything when Real Madrid were just fucking slapping teams up, even though they were stinking out the place. So save it, please, okay? Save your sanctimonious bullshit while you're spewing there on TV, okay? We don't need to hear it. We understand. We've been watching football, the same amount of football as you do, okay? So put some respect on Arne Slot's name because I thought it was brilliant from him. Coming into the game, I'm sure, and he said it as well, he knew that PSG was going to dominate position. The same thing as Man City. So what do? Now, whereas in the Man City game, we still were able to have an out. So we were still able to have, an outlet for a counter of defense. Last night's game, we didn't. We just couldn't get out of our half. And look, there's a point where you can say, well, look, you're defensive and you're defensively sound, and obviously PSG has got some really quality players in the one-on-one situations, and there were so many one-on-one situations throughout the game last night. It was really tough, but I thought by and large, once Liverpool nullified them within our 18-yard box. And PSG was essentially left to taking like pot shots out of the box. I thought that was the first win because I didn't think we were going to dominate PSG. I thought it was going to be a much more intense game from Liverpool, but Liverpool decided no. Okay, we're going to sit in a 4-2-4 out of possession, which I was a little bit surprised by that tactic, to be honest with you, especially because PSG was really dominating our midfield. They were just picking up passes left, right, and center. And, Gravenberch couldn't cope with it. McAllister couldn't cope with it. We were just kind of like being torn. And so if you looked at that game as a 90-minute piece of spell, I think PSG had something like 25 shots at goal. 6 of them or 10 of them are on target or something like that. I think the XG is something ridiculous like 1.2. Where Liverpool came up with that goal, I have no ideas. But we got to give a shout out to Mr. Darwin Núñez. Listen, I don't want to hear these fucking haters about him anymore, okay? If you ever doubted, if you ever wondered, what the fuck does Darwin Núñez do? Well, there you go. There you go. Brilliantly taken. I thought that we needed him a little bit earlier than what he came up with because look, Diogo Jota was running into blind alleys. Luis Diaz also fallen off a cliff the last month or two after the new year. Diaz would run into like nowhere lands, and obviously Salah stunk the place out. He didn't get any joy. They nullified him, kept him quiet. So I was screaming out for Darwin Núñez to come on a little bit earlier. Look, I understand what Slot was doing. He's thinking, I'm gonna go down for this point, and we're gonna take it to Anfield, and we're gonna go and win there. And you know what? As a European tie, as a tie within a knockout game, brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant. The man has balls of steel to go out and play this way against Paris Saint-Germain. Like, I promise you, Jurgen Klopp would not be playing like this. He would not be playing like this. He would go toe-to-toe with those guys, and then it's just a case of kind of measuring whose dick is bigger in the midfield and the second third. But last night, PSG outplayed us in large parts because we just couldn't offer anything. So our defense was constantly under cush. I know we got to give a shout out because I know he gets a lot of flack, and he was up against some fucking ballers last night. So I really want to give Trent Alexander-Arnold his flowers because he put in a really solid defensive performance. He was targeted, like make no mistake about that. But I thought within the 1v1s against a quality opposition, I thought Trent Alexander-Arnold really held his own and could give a good account of himself. Now, should Ibrahima Konate be on the field? Probably not. I mean, yeah. If that happened to me, yeah, I'd be livid. If something like that happened to me, to my team, I'd be livid. But I've noticed a trend quite recently in terms of what defenders do. They would rather push you forward with your momentum than try to bring you down. So instead of bringing someone down backwards, which is really obvious for the referee and the officials on the field, giving them a push, especially if the referee is behind you, giving them a push, and you can block off the view. The referee's not going to go to VAR because he thinks it's normal. And on top of that, the VAR is not going to come in and intervene and say, hey, I think you should need to have a check at that, like they do in rugby. So Liverpool have kind of found a little loophole, and not only them, but as it stands. But I thought as an away performance, as a Champions League away performance against a very dominant possession-based football team, Arne Slot showed me again that this team can play in many different ways. I swear, like, go watch some of my previous videos. Holy crap. I was screaming out for just something other than rock and roll football every single fucking time. So for us to go in and play a mid-block and play without possession, because look, in the past, what would have happened with us is we would have gotten into this kind of like moment and we would have been frustrated and we felt that we needed to do something. And then we would charge up ahead, completely expose ourselves, and then the other team comes and then it becomes a basketball game. And then, so to watch Liverpool play the way they did, the same way we did against Man City, against a possession-based football team, I didn't think PSG expected that. I just didn't think they expected it, right? They were expecting us to come out and they were going to smack us and, go toe for toe with it. Liverpool sat back and said, okay, you have it. You come and take us. And I know for the goddamn fact that Alisson Becker, he eats those up. Those shots outside the box, he eats those up. Some of those saves that he makes, I know a lot of people are like, woo-hoo-hoo, but that's par for the course for him. I think the one-on-one, I think that was the big one, because you know what, one-on-one, I'm always gonna go with Alisson. But shots outside of a box, give me a fucking break. You're not beating the best goalkeeper in the world with shots outside the box, which they were forced to take at the end. My goodness me, Reds, what the result? It was a shit it was a shit attacking performance, but defensively we came away with a clean sheet. I'm so happy about that. Elliott coming back on and again making a claim for himself. It's just unfortunate that the side that he is playing at is the two players, the in-form players for Liverpool, So it's very difficult for Harvey to get a goal. But you know what? He took his goal really, really well. And those are the kind of those are the kind of moments that make a season. Holy crap, Liverpool! There were moments where I couldn't even watch that game. I was just like, when are they gonna score? Can PSG just fucking score a goal so that I can fucking relax? It was just tension, like an elastic band, and I'm just pulling, and I'm like, fuck, it's gonna happen, but it didn't. We got the goal at the end, obviously sending the away fans and everybody across the world supporting Liverpool into fucking delirium, because we didn't expect that based on what we saw. Damn. Oh, well, it certainly sets up a second tie. And look, I don't know how it must have been for a neutral to kind of watch that. Probably the neutrals and the rivals were just like looking at PSG going like, come on, go on PSG, get the job done. And the longer that game went on, 0-0, you know it. We've been in that position where we've been peppering teams. And then it gets to the 70th minute, and then you start to see the psyche change within the players of both sets of teams. The dominant one starts to doubt themselves, and the one hanging on starts to go, hang on, I've waited for 80 minutes, maybe I can nick it. And then the kind of dance happens in your head where PSG is thinking, we have to be careful now. We can't just go out gung-ho because these mofos can kill us on the break. And that's what we did. Again, Alisson Becker, fucking long ball. A pre-assist for Alisson Becker. I know pre-assist is not a stat, but I'm making it a stat today because that man of the match season of the game of the season kind of performance for Alisson Becker was completely out of the world. The man is not human. And you know, there were parts of me the last couple of weeks where I was like, where's Ali? Why couldn't do that? That's what Alisson Becker does. That's why he's here. That's why we have the best goalkeeper in the world. That's why we're the best team in the world. My goodness me. PSG 0. PSG 0. A team that's been scoring 4 goals per game the last 10 games. 40 goals in the last 10 games. It's insane. That's fucking insane. So, I tell you what, Reds, it's going to be a completely different setup at Anfield. I don't think Paris will be having the position that we have, but I think it'll still be a good goal. A fantastically entertaining goal, because I don't see Paris playing any other way. I don't see Paris having doing a Liverpool like we just did to them. They're going to come out with us, and we are going to have to be on our toes. This Paris PSG team, I think, is apart from us, I think they're the best team in the Champions League this season. Honestly, at least in the last half of the league stage, they are absolutely phenomenal team, and they're gonna go on to, if not win one of these Champions Leagues. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen against the return tie at Anfield, because you don't count your chickens before you're hatched. But certainly, if they didn't face us, I think they would have stormed through their opponents on the way to a final. 100%. 100%. I would have loved to see this PSG against the Real Madrid. But as it were, they come up to the mighty Reds! And we had to teach them a lesson. Anyways, Reds. What? This season is amazing. Anyways, Reds. It's been great. Listen, do me a favor, hit the like, share, subscribe, all the stuff for the algorithm. What a season I'm having. I'm loving every single second of it. And yeah. I'll see you guys at the next one. Come on, you Reds. Let's get it.